continue. Mega Man, jack in! Hi, everyone, I'm Reboot, and welcome to West Coast Geeks vs. Nerds, the debate-style program where we investigate topics no one else has the guts, tenacity, or interest to investigate. The object of the show is simple: secure victory for your team's candidate using facts, obscure knowledge, and trash talk. Tonight, it's Bob versus Tron on West Coast Geeks versus Nerds! Ladies and gentlemen, flawless victory. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a time before the internet. I know, please hold your collective gasps of surprise. But believe it or not, there was a time where we did not have Skype. We just paid for long-distance calling. We didn't have cat videos on YouTube. We just had cats. We didn't have Wikipedia. We just shouted random statements to each other until we believed them to be fact. And we did not have Facebook or Twitter. We just had good old-fashioned stalkers. It was the dawning of cyberspace. And for a lot of fiction writers out there, they took the term cyberspace quite literally. There's a period of sci-fi where writers are just obsessed with the personification of computers and the internet. And even though Futurama probably has the most realistic depiction of the internet being full of ads, porn, and porn ads, there are a couple interpretations of a computer program world that I thoroughly enjoy and stand out to me. One of them is the world of Reboot. This 20-year-old cartoon, yes, you feel old now. This 20-year-old cartoon was the first computer-animated TV show in its entirety, and it was made right here in Vancouver, British Columbia. And yeah, I know the graphics are kinda dated, but I gotta say, there's something about those dated computer graphics that they just have some sort of charm for me. They're charming because they're dated, like how the humans looked in Toy Story 1, or Lara Croft's PlayStation 1 polygonal rack. 10 out of 10, I would do. Reboot had to be really creative to work around the technical limitations that it had during the time. But luckily, Reboot is a world where the creators could just make up random shit, because who's to say what a computer world looks like? It could look like literally anything. Boy, animating walk cycles are hard. I know, let's have the characters on hoverboards. Man, lip syncing is hard. I know, let's have a character who only talks with masks. Man, modeling these human-type characters are hard with their detail and their appendages and their mobility. Fuck it, let's just make the rest of the citizens fucking circles and squares. God bless you, random geometric shapes. Reboot takes place in the system of mainframe, where the main character, Bob the Guardian, is sent by the supercomputer programmed to mend and defend a mainframe and its citizens from the evil viruses like the Hitler-like megabyte to the chaotic, nightmare-inducing hexadecimal. And during Bob's free times, he likes to play games! Yay, games! True, playing games does sound like fun, but in the Reboot universe, if you lose at a game, everybody in that game essentially dies. So, it kind of makes me feel bad for being really good at video games. But not really. But That's going to be the best part of the podcast right there. I'll just come right out and say it right off the bat. Why didn't Daft Punk win the Oscar for Tron Legacy? Scratch that, why weren't they even nominated? Daft Punk did a good job. They worked it harder, made it better, did it faster, made it stronger, more than ever. Our work is never over. Thank you. Does the Academy have it out for robotic electronic musicians that are half French? Are the Academy Awards robophobic? You know what? Let's start that rumor. Yeah, the Academy Awards are robophobic. Yes. Everybody please go on Wikipedia and change that so it becomes true. Yes, the Academy Awards are robophobic, and I will not believe otherwise until a robotic actor takes home the Oscar for Best Actor. And no, Keanu Reeves does not count. But it's close. Or maybe the Oscars just hasn't out for the Tron franchise in general. Here's a fun fact. In 1982, the Academy Awards disqualified Tron for the special effects category as they thought using a computer to create special effects was cheating. Nowadays, that's like saying you're only eligible for the screenwriting category if you use a typewriter. So to get back on track, Tron. What is Tron? Well, Tron is that movie in the 80s that nobody saw. But your nerdy friend won't shut up about. Why? Because in this movie, computer programmers save the day! Now, a computer programmer in this universe is essentially, in no stretch of the word, God. So, what does a computer programmer as God do? Why, create a badass security program that looks exactly like himself. To battle the bad guy, get the girl, save the day, and is loved by everyone. Because why the hell not? Tron is a steadfast digital warrior who kicks ass at games that are mixed between Atari and American Gladiators and protects the grid. A world that, frankly, looks fucking awesome! I mean, honestly, that's what most people remember about Tron, how awesome it looks. Everything is neon, there are motorcycles made out of concentrated light, there are giant space invader-like ships that really don't practically work, but they look so fucking cool so we don't really care. There's no getting around it, nothing looks like Tron. And if everything did look like Tron, it would be awesome! Tron and Xena have something in common. They both understand the true, devastating properties of the Frisbee. Woo! But does that make Tron the best protector of your PC? That's what we're here to find out. Let's meet the Geeks and Nerds! For Bob, Team Geek and your geek leader, he comes from the net. He's a quad-core processor with over 500 gigs of useless information and only 2 megs of RAM. When he's not nullifying sprites in LucasArts adventure games or memorizing the copy protection for Space Quest 4, he's a game designer, 3D animator, and complete total shut-in. It's Chris Yusko! She comes from the web, from the space between your sight and screen, the shiniest hacker you've never seen, from coast to coast and sea to sea, to HTTP and you and me. It's the wicked witch of the web, Happy Sprackler! He's no inactive matrix, he's a 100% active matrix. It's actor for hire, Alex Da Silva! I'll just wait and watch this. Alright. And for Tron, Team Nerd and your nerd herder, if he's been to one Consumer Electronics show, he's been to them all. He fights for the users. It's Chris Stewart! He's a computer video game animator, spoken word artist, cartoonist, burlesque performer, and science fiction author from Vancouver, BC. He's made the front page of Reddit 3 times and has been retweeted by Will Wheaton twice. He fights for the users. It's Duncan Cheetos! This is Flynn to Master Control. I'm stepping through the door. He fights for the users. It's Chris Gaskin! All right. So, geeks, nerds, welcome to the stage. How are y'all doing tonight? Good. Alphanumeric, sensational. In front of you is your 20-sided die. Please roll for initiative.
Oh, totally random.
So we got a and a one. So per duty, I have to give you all a round of shots. So it begins. And no feeling. Only I can do that.
Shot it on the air.
All right, so team nerds, would you like to go first or second?
First, please.
All right, going first. We are at the intro round. Please explain to me, team nerds, why Tron is the best protector of your PC. 2 minutes, begin.
Good evening. I'm Flynn, or, his Flynnness, or the Flynster, or El Flynnerino if you're not into the whole brevity thing. Tron is like an original. He came first. He set the bar that no one else has reached since, he fought off the FCP and kept computers safe for us all. Heck, he's still doing it. Man, he fights for us. He's an excellent fighter and an even better leader. He's a gamer's gamer. He fights to keep the internet free for all. He fights to keep computers uncontrolled by any one company, government, or media organization. We own Tron. You down with MCP?
Yeah, you know me.
No, I'm not. Tron doesn't back down. Name your game and he'll kick your ass, man. He's a free thinker. He trains other programs to do the same. He's our savior. Our ghost in the machine, man. We believe in Tron.
He's the AI that you want fighting on your side because he's actually a competent AI, and anyone who's played video games knows there's no such thing as competent AI.
Tron is quite simply the best, but that's just my opinion, man.
Flynn lives. All right. That is 2 minutes. Let's hear it for the nerds. I'd like to take this moment to point out that Mr. Shields is sipping a White Russian this evening. Attention to detail. Love it. So, going over to the Geeks. Geeks is your intro round. In 2 minutes' time, please explain to me why Bob is the best protector of your PC. Please begin.
Bob comes from the net. From systems, people, and cities to this place, mainframe. His format, Guardian. To mend and defend. To defend his newfound friends, their hopes and dreams. To defend them from their enemies.
The viruses who infest the network, the software pirates sailing the open C++, the inscrutable daily codemasters, the unscrupulous hackers, second portion, and above all, the terrible, dangerous games. To be the first, last, and only line of defense against the worst scum of the cyberverse, to mend the damage they cause.
The tears in the fabric of the system, the nullified sections left by the games lost in the massive swabs of corruption created by an unchecked virus. To heal the corrupt, restore the broken, being to put a stop code to death. To be a hero a mainframe needs and the one it deserves. To inspire loyalty in a network of highly skilled and dedicated sprites.
From Dot Matrix to the almighty Fawn to even Mike TV. To build friendships and alliances across systems, celebrate the net's diversity, and teach everyone the ways of the Guardian. To boldly execute epic guitar solos whenever Megabyte crashes the child. They say Tron exists outside the system and fights for the user. But is he the best protector of the PC? I don't think so. Reboot!
All right. Sarah for the Geeks. Shit got serious when we go up to Alex there. Shit just got real. All right, so next round is the attack round. But before we do, we are going to hand out the rebuttal tokens. Now the rebuttal tokens can be handed into myself to instantly rebuttal something else the other team has said. So, for Team Bob, we have incoming purple GameCube. And for Tron, we have some sort of light spinny disc. So there it is. So we are now approaching the attack round. We're going to start with the nerds. Nerds, explain to me in 2 minutes' time why Bob is not the best protector of your PC. Please begin.
Let's face facts. When it comes to Bob, incompetence is his game. Incompetence such as the fact that he's a guy who decides to join in a guitar riff with his enemy. An enemy of which Bob Rock would never join in a guitar riff with Toby Keith. The fact of the matter is, Bob at one point leaves the system with a kid in charge. A kid in charge! Who does that? Who leaves a kid in charge besides like a deadbeat dad? And let's be honest, Enzo already has a worm of a deadbeat dad. Alright? The fact of the matter is Bob just... Here's the thing. When I get a virus, I delete it. That's what I do. My computer gets... And I don't get many viruses, but when it does, I delete that thing. Bob is the hero that everyone wants. He's not the hero that everyone needs. You gotta delete those viruses. You don't Norton antivirus them and slap them in some folder and call it quarantine, where it's still a fucking virus.
Point. You have like 30 seconds? Anything else?
Oh man, that's it.
No, that's it. All right. Let's hear it. All right, now the attack round for the Geeks. Geeks, explain to me in 2 minutes' time why Tron is not the best protector of your PC. Please begin.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a special guest here tonight. Skyping in from Tron's own system. Please welcome Biff. Biff, say hi to the nice folks. Why not? You do remember Tron, don't you? And you agreed to do this show. Now, I know Tron's your friend, or not? He's not? Why not? What, wasn't he the savior of your system? Well, because he couldn't have done that as a user. Well, okay, but he got back and defeated the MCP, right? Right, Flynn did that. I forgot. Well, he captured the carrier, though, right? Avoided being captured and enslaved by his enemies for years. Got to second base with his girlfriend. He plays frisbee really well. You gotta give him that. Please? Say goodnight, Biff.
Also, Tron claims to be user-friendly, but have you ever tried to troubleshoot this guy? From the outside of the screen, you run Tron for some basic maintenance, but a pop-up alerts you that a virus has taken over and Tron has been captured. So you call technical support. And then...
Phone's phone technical support? I mean, phone's phone technical support? How can I help you, my child?
Well, I got this Tron.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yes, I have.
Have you tried shooting yourself down into the computer to rescue him?
Yes, I did it with my $50 million Shiva laser, which I use in my living room. Now Tron's smashing all my programs, and I can't run my TV.
Have you tried installing Jeff Bridges?
What the net is Jeff Bridges?
Go on up the skull soon.
Oh, I'll tell you who Jeff Bridges is. Folks, Jeff Bridges is the dude. When Tron needed help with MCP, Jeff Bridges was there. When he needed help learning how to kiss his girlfriend, Jeff Bridges was there. When he needed to defeat Clue because Tron got repurposed, Jeff Bridges was there. Jeff Bridges is the dude. He is the god. He is the grid. I can see why GVN put him on the same level as Bob.
But this is Bob versus Tron.
Really?
Alright, everyone has a good job there. Alright, so let's hear it for the geeks. I got so much more, man. You don't even know. I'm prepared for this night. Alright. So, that leads us to round 3. Round 3 is the Moo Man question. Holy fucking shit!
There goes the budget.
Yeah, seriously. Thanks for paying for the show, guys. That's where it went into. Alright, so the Moo Man question for tonight's event is to be the best protector of your PC. Not only must you fight evil programs and viruses, but you must also excel at games and adapt with new software. Using specific examples, explain how your legacy generation characters would totally pwn in a modern video game of your choice. So, talking games, we're going to start with the nerds. Explain to me how Tron would kick ass at modern video games. Please begin.
Well, we lucked out because our legacy characters got updated. So it's already looking pretty sweet. It's already got a bunch of games, old and new. But we thought, you know, what's now? What's hip? What are the kids into? And one word, Troncraft. An entirely open world where you shape the grid to be what you want. You want a big giant light tower, you can make it. You want to make your tiny little subterranean fort, you can make it. You want your friends to come in and help you, they can do it. You want to go attack somebody else's server, go for it. Recipes, up the yin-yang. So 3 bricks of silicon, 2 bricks of wire, 1 brick of energy, 1 brick of awesome. You got a light cycle. Write the shit out of that thing.
More like a floppy Tron.
Sorry, how many people have video games? What was there? There was an arcade game, there was a take-home game, there was the updated Disney game. You show up in the new Kingdom Hearts. How many Reboot video games are there?
One, and it sucked.
So that's what we're going for, Troncraft. We already know that means that we've got every kid from 5 to somewhere on the autism spectrum, 35, playing the shit out of that game.
You just made friends with everyone in the crowd.
Some of my best friends are autistic. So yeah, that's what we decided on. Troncraft. Let's say 1995, available on Steam, come October.
Alrighty, that is it for the nerds. Let's hear it for Troncraft. And now the Moo Man question for the geeks. Geeks, explain to me how Bob would be awesome at modern video games. Please begin.
The important thing is that Bob's really adaptable. One of the biggest genres of games now is the casual. Escapes, puzzles, any amount of furious bats or incensed bivalves being flung at hapless targets. The problem with these is that they're really able to pose and force per se. It's the game structure that presents the challenges. And that's why the user can't see Bob when they're playing them. Bob works these games behind the scenes, invisible, sneaky, and generally being everything I really respect in a sprite. He'd be interfering with the intended solution, stealing a key here, erasing a clue there, maybe occasionally putting out rich, dulcet tones to tell the user they've crushed all the candy in this saga, when in fact the time is running out. In these games, there's no losing, but there's still game over when the user throws the mouse out the window in delicious, nourishing frustration.
Also nowadays, Bob faces the situation of being caught in games without win states. Getting trapped in World of Warcraft, for example, means that Bob can't beat the user, but the user will never finish playing. So, if Bob is trapped in Warcraft and needs an immediate exit to go save mainframe, all he has to do is initiate the rage quit. Bob becomes Leroy Jenkins! It's a win-win situation because after Bob forces you to end the game by hilariously ruining your raids, you can post that video on YouTube for a billion hits.
30 seconds.
Bob would clean up in the FPS games like Gears of War, but the player has infinite lives because sprites can be recovered for save games. Bob can survive through autosaves and cloud computing and get all the sprites and binos safely back to mainframe. What else do you need?
All right, good point. All right, I guess that's the end of the round. Let's hear it for the Geeks. That's always a good way to indicate that we're done. What else do you want?
It's certainly better than having you cut us off just before the punchline.
Yeah. All right, so. Round three.
So much violence.
All right, so. So we are now approaching round 4. Who would win in a fight? I'd like to remind both teams, you both still have your above tokens, so this is the last round you'll be able to use them. So, round 4, who would win a fight, starting with the nerds. 2 minutes, explain to me how Tron would kick Bob's ass. Begin.
Tron stood before the blinding light of the I.O. junction. Program, identify yourself. I'm Bob. And these programs with you? They're like me. Do you fight for the users? No, we used to fight the user. Behind Tron, 1,000 identity discs took a lethal hum. Tron held up his hand. And now, who do you fight for now? The stranger took a couple of awkward, badly animated steps forward and smiled in uncanny valley rictus. We are the heralds of the Dio. We fight for the destroyer of worlds. Other multicolored figurines, computer-generated mannequins began to step out of the light. Behind them, Tron could see thousands upon thousands of figures, some blocky, others spheres, all with crazed, googly eyes. Bob raised his hand. To mend and defend is now rend in an axe. Reboot! Then slammed his chest. Tron and his forces held the line, but could not push them back. The intruders' numbers were endless and their actions chaotic, almost like the leader Bob had no plan. Then, by luck, an important enemy was captured alive and brought before Tron. I'm Mike, a close personal friend of Bob's. I've even met the great Didio. Well, I talked to him. Well, he talked to me. Okay, near me, Didio the Didirian, Didio the Destructor, Comic Zildrohar, the editor has come. Why is his name so familiar? What does he want with the grid? It's destruction. He has destroyed countless mainframes, some repeatedly, as well as the war planets and all but 52 universes. Now he wants to destroy yours. Tron's eyes grew wide. By the users, that's it. Disney server, this is Tron, connect me to legal. Yes, Tron. We're being invaded by other property. We request cross-property support to finish them. We're listening, give us your elevator pitch. Keep it thematic. We would like Ultimates. If they'll agree to be dug lock, even better. Also, we would like IG-88, R2-D2, and all the army and probe droids we can get. Also Jedis. I'm sorry, we can't agree to this. This is a licensing mess. There's nothing you can say that will change our minds. It's Dan Dio. There was a long silence. Tron, this is Marvel Legal. Fuck that, guys. Stand by for download.
All right, so who would win in a fight? It's time to go over to the Geeks. Explain to me how Bob would kick Tron's ass. Please begin.
I'd like to believe that under normal circumstances, Bob and Tron would actually be friends and even visit each other from time to time. So Bob and Tron would be casually hanging out in Al's diner, talking about polygons and shit, when all of a sudden, Bob hears a familiar noise. It's been louder, but it's not coming right. Incoming game. Immediately, a GameCube drops on top of them, and the two find themselves trapped in none other than a Tron light cycle video game. Bob thinks this will be a breeze with Tron here to help him, but no, Tron says, I fight for the user, and runs off to help the other Tron try to win the game. So now there's two Trons smashing programs left and right. Smash, there goes MS Office. Smash, there goes your Steam library. Smash, there goes your porn folder. Bob reboots into Tron mode and goes after him on their left cycle. The real Tron lays down a light wall to crush Bob with. But Bob being Bob pops a wheelie and drives on top of the light wall because this is Reboot and Bob does that kind of awesome shit all the time. He shouts, glitch, wall, and creates a wall for Tron to crash into, taking out one Tron. At that moment, the user Tron throws his disc and destroys Bob's bike. Bob jumps out in time shouting, glitch, bouncy castle, and bounces off a newly made bouncy castle to safety. The user comes around for another attack, but just as he throws his disc, none other than Frisket shows up and catches it like a frisbee.
Good boy, Frisket!
Bob throws his disc, destroys the user's bike, and watches as the user falls to the ground and is promptly crushed by a recognizer being driven by none other than Fawn. The game ends, and both Bob and the real Tron are back in Al's diner.
We should kill him now, Bob.
No, Matrix. Tron, he's misguided, but he's a good program. With a little work and some help from his friends, he will someday be a great guardian.
You're right, Bob.
And with that, they pile into Bob's car, turn on some Daft Punk, and head on over to fanfiction.net to party with Wreck-It Ralph and Captain N.
Although if this was realistically portrayed, that car wouldn't go anywhere. Alright, so we're approaching the end, but we are now we're approaching the end, but we're now at the 5-minute open debate. So without waiting for things to go, it is 5 minutes to say whatever the hell you want.
All right. To discuss here earlier, you said you can't just quarantine and uninstall viruses. That's what you're supposed to do. If you delete these things, you're going to wreck your computer. It's going to screw up the registry, delete important files. That's how my parents uninstall viruses.
Your protector's so slow, he doesn't crash the desktop, he comes to a safe stop and parks.
Well, that means it works better, don't it? I mean, you want to reboot later, and you don't want so much damage as Tron would make. I mean, Tron just throws discs everywhere, destroys things. Hell, he's going to wreck it.
Yeah, but Bob's
I can fix it.
Bob's such a loser, Mike TV was his roommate. No, that's it, that's a joke.
My TV is awesome.
Yeah! What are your thoughts on Mike the TV, audience?
All yours?
Your protector is so bad at keeping a computer running, they named the show Reboot.
Kiss my ass, Keith.
Your protector's so soft, he turns the ladies off and on again by lying about his 3.5-inch floppy.
This is the time to discuss your personal problems.
Your protector is so stupid, he thinks memory cache is something the leprechauns hide in a pot at the end of the color palette.
Your protector is so incompetent that at some point there was 2 of them and they still couldn't get shit done.
Let's have a pause from Night of the Digital Apollo, and let's have somebody from Team Reboot say something.
You keep attacking them, but the simple fact is that you don't really have anything other than, well, digital yo mama jokes to be able to set up. Because you know you're wrong. And we understand. We understand what it's like to be on the team that's guaranteed to lose. Simply because Tron never really managed to do anything. Bob saved his system 5-6 times. What's Tron do? Spend 20 years working for the bad guys.
Your protector's so stupid. So he left for Rona in a truck.
Your protector isn't.
Okay, here's the thing. Do you see a Tron? No, you see a Jeff Bridges, because that's the only character that mattered in Tron.
We're dressing up.
10, print. Your protector's so dumb. 20, go to 10. Run.
So that's how you came up with those jokes. I didn't know they were literally basic. Go ahead, it's not like we're gonna have anything better.
Your protector is so simple. The logo turtle looks complicated next to him.
Yeah.
That's a good try. You know what? I'm going to close the open debate early. I've never seen an open debate like that before. That was amusing. So, we're almost at the time where you guys vote the winner the order for the final words. So, final word first goes to the Geeks. Geeks?
Bob is a very model of a modern gardening protocol with little friends and Kirsty too. He's so off a new man record. He's nothing been moved when Bob is here to save us all. We'll beat a megabyte and get the first with hexadecimal. He's also good with languages like JavaScript and C++, but still has time to fix his car and party with the rest of us. Was missing back in season 3. It really was a tragedy. We're back for more in season 4. Buy it now on DVD. To bring up Tron is nothing grand, his work is not a sight to see. Jeff Bridges stole his girlfriend, his ass was kicked in Legacy. He's great at frisbee, bikes, and math, all other things he's truly sung. Hashtag derest, crying face, moment of silence, here stabbed tongue. When Bobby got security, he really is a charming sprite. He served the World War II after he rocked us all on talent night. When spam affects your internet, just call on him, the point is moot. Download Bob, he'll do the rest. Incoming game. Reboot!
Alright, and final word, or song from Tron. Oh, it is a song, oh shit!
No, it's not a song. Everybody gets a soundtrack. So, there's no way, I mean, it's good fun to debate all this, but the fact of the matter is, the elephant in the room is without Tron, there's no Reboot. You ask anybody that worked on Reboot, Tron inspired them. You ask anybody what it was that wanted to get them into like programming, a lot of them will say Tron. Computer graphics, they'll say Tron. And the fact of the matter is Tron kind of still stands as an original, self-contained, one-of-a-kind trope that has been followed afterwards, but never quite duplicated. The thing about Tron is, it was what it was, and that's all it's ever done. Whereas others kind of take from Tron and then do their best to fill in the cracks with pop culture references.
Tron is the chosen one, man. Tron wants your download speeds high, your choice is infinite. He hates Rogers. He hates Ellis. He's on your side. He is the one the legend spoke of, man. He wants to remove the gates and windows limiting your computers. He's on the side of imagination. He's got Disney on his side, so he'll never die. He really ties cyberspace together, man. Need I add that Reboot ends with Megabyte winning?
No, not true! You guys?
In conclusion, Bob is just Tron, but for kids.
Alright, final word! Let's give him a round of applause. You had 2 minutes we didn't even use to say more stuff, and you chose not to, so there we are. So, it is time to render your vote by applause. Is the best protector of your PC. Let's first hear it for the Geeks and Bob.
Well, if that's how you feel about it.